Tony Ortiz here with Current Revolt. We're at the Bernie Sanders rally here in Fort Worth where Beto O'Rourke is supposed to speak. It is 2:43 and it's scheduled to start in about 20 minutes. Turnout's a little bit small, but it is still early, so we'll see what happens.
17-year-olds, raise your hands. High school students. To the adults, if you're a teacher, look at these hands. Make sure those kids get registered to vote when they're not.
And if we don't get it, if we don't get it, I said if we don't get it, free Palestine.
I'm sitting here with
Elvira.
Okay. And what brought you to the Bernie Sanders rally today?
I believe everything they stand for.
Gotcha. Okay. What's like the most pressing political issue that affects your day-to-day life?
The economy. I'm retired and I could barely make it. And I don't think that's the way it should be.
Whereabouts in DFW do you live? What's your home city?
What part of the city?
Yeah.
Okay, I live in Fort Worth over here by TCU.
Gotcha. Do you kind of pay attention to local politics in your state? Like, do you know who your state rep is?
Yes.
Who's your state rep?
Definitely. My council district is Beck, Council Member Beck. Maddie Parker is our mayor. And let's see.
How do you feel about Maddie Parker?
She seems to be fair for the time being. I've always felt that she was fair.
Would you label her as like a moderate Republican or a left-leaning Republican?
Moderate, I would think, to me.
And what about you? What do you label yourself as politically? Are you more left-leaning, or you could label yourself far left?
More left.
What's your farthest left-leaning opinion?
I believe in abortion. I think that's a woman's right, whether to have it or not. Nobody else should have any say in it.
What brings you guys here today?
Like Bernie.
And Emily, what brings you here today?
I want Fort Worth to show up big today. I want to show that the biggest red city in our country is really interested in making some change. I completely disapprove of putting religion in classrooms, which is something that's recently happened. I think taking money from public schools and giving it to families so that they can spend it in private school is not a good choice. I think that's really going to damage our already suffering education system.
Do you by chance know who your state rep is?
Yes. It's going to take me a second. My state rep is Goldman.
Okay. And so obviously a Republican.
It is.
Yeah. What is, of the state reps, is there any Republicans that you would identify that are at least moderate or left-leaning?
I don't think those are words that I would use. I might say lesser of evils. That might be, honestly, I think Dan Goldman is probably a lesser of evils, but that doesn't mean that I'm satisfied with what he's doing and how he's voting.
What do you feel about, I don't know if you're familiar with the House Speaker, Dustin Burrows, or Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton? What are your thoughts on any of them?
Dan Patrick, Ken Paxton, Greg Abbott, I think are all toxic and terrible for Texas, especially for Texas kids.
Last name, just your first name. So. And Alec, what brings you here today?
Lots of things. I guess mostly I'm really, really unhappy with the current administration, federal. So I just want to see change.
And what's a political issue that affects you personally every day?
Honestly, I can't think of one. I'm very privileged. And I think it's okay to, recognize that, but mostly I'm doing it for people I care about.
Gotcha. What makes you privileged specifically?
I mean, I'm white, straight passing, Christian passing. I mean, not that you can identify that on site, right? But that's the kind of America that Trump wants, I think, and that's not mine.
There was a lot of messaging back in the day that the DNC took the election or kind of rigged the election to be against Bernie. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you think the DNC is improving on that?
Not really.
So Trump says the same thing regarding people stealing his election. Do you think he was maybe accurate on that as well?
If he said the grass was green, I'd question it.
Can you name a single Republican or conservative politician that you would say is reasonable?
Recent?
Yeah, or in the last 4 to 8 years.
I mean, John McCain's dead, so
You would say he was pretty reasonable.
compared to what we have now, yeah.
And what's a political issue that affects your day-to-day life?
Well, I'm nervous for the war in Iran, like what's gonna happen with it. Yeah, I'm pretty nervous about that too.
Minus the war, like you guys are like Gen Zers.
Yeah.
Anything else that's going on in your life or school that's like a big pressure on you?
Not real ICE, probably. Even though I'm
the
not
deportations affect you?
yeah.
Even though you're not what?
Even though I'm not Mexican, they still affect me in my.
How does that?
Because I have a lot of friends that live in fear, you know.
You have friends that are not here legally?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. What about you?
I would say the same thing, but I just got a lot of friends, and I don't want nothing to happen to them.
In yet another American tragedy, we must stop this illegal war. Join it. If you don't see one, start one on your own. This stuff is breaking through. It's changing public perception. It's applying political pressure on those in these positions of public trust, and we need more of it.
My name is Kim.
Kim, and what brought you here today?
I'm really worried about the state of the country. I have 2 young adult daughters, and this is a scary place for them to live right now, with the lack of women's rights in particular. I'm worried about the escalation in Iraq. I mean, pretty much everything.
What is a political issue or something that affects your day-to-day life, like every day that it's affecting you?
Like I said, I really worry about women's rights. Both of my girls have health issues that make pregnancy dangerous, and if they happen to get assaulted or anything like that, this state would let them die. So, yeah, that's the big one.